This episode of Mid-Ohio Rock Show is brought to you by Larry's Music Center, Ohio's coolest indie music store, with locations in Worcester and Millersburg.
Do we have any blues lovers in the house? Oh, hell yeah! If you love the blues out there, somebody say yeah. Yeah! If you really love the blues, say hell yeah! Hell yeah! Mid-Ohio Rock Show!
Hey folks, welcome to the Mid-Ohio Rock Show. I'm Tommy Barnes. Real pleasure to be with you here. We've got Anthony Gomes hanging out with us. And Anthony, my God, just made this amazing trip from Waterford, Wisconsin. Just kind of arrived into Lexington. But great to have you back, I think. Probably about a year ago, you were here playing with a good friend of ours, Sam Romanelli.
Yes.
And basically been just kind of touring the country. So tell me what's been going on.
Well, we have a new CD that came out in March, and as of today, so we're number 2 on XM radio, and we've been playing a lot of festivals, and the buzz has been great about the project and the new disc. And we couldn't be happier, man. It's a rock.
You also, I think on this disc, went back to a couple older songs that you had on previous releases and re-released them with a new twist. Is that the case?
Yeah, this is our first blues album in about 4 years, and we figured a lot of people would be discovering us for the first time. So we took 2 songs and we sort of revamped them in the format that we're playing now. We're a bit more stripped down power trio. Sometimes we have 2 background vocals. We decided, okay, since people are discovering us for the first time, maybe we'll kind of give them a representation of where we're at today. I don't think we would have done that had we not taken such a hiatus from doing strictly blues and blues rock. So.
Well, I think what it did is it maybe kind of got you back to zero, so to speak, kind of similar to the album title. You can go so far, progress so far, but it ultimately just boils down to just kind of get to the gut of the blues, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, for me, the blues is where it all started. It's ground zero, and that's why we're saying, up to zero. You're getting, most people think zero is a bad place, but sometimes it's not a bad place. Like, for instance, with the economy, if we were at zero instead of a deficit, I think everybody would like to get up to zero. So I think that's just kind of the way to look at it, Every day you get up is a blessing, man. It's a beautiful thing. So,
I know, another bit of icing on the cake of life, I suppose, right?
Yes, exactly.
Anthony, by the way, is from Toronto, Canada, resides when he gets a chance to slow down and stop in the St. Louis area. And, I guess back in the day, Anthony, going to Chicago, kind of learning some of your craft at that point, I guess really learning how to play the blues, would you say, in a way?
Yeah, well, I love Toronto, and there's a ton of fabulous musicians. But sort of Chicago's like going to University of the blues. And when I was coming up in Toronto, I was probably one of the best top 3 young blues guitar players because there were only 3. So when I moved to Chicago, there were like 123. So it pushed you to try to do something to stand out a little bit more and find your voice. And so I really appreciated that. And of course, there were a lot of mentors there and such a legacy of blues artists. So it really kind of showed me the ropes and took me under their wing and politely said, "You're not going to embarrass me, Canadian boy."
This next one is about the Comfort Inn Hotel. It's just a few minutes away from here. Yes, she done. Put in the blues and room. Are we feeling good out there? Heading off to Texas from New Orleans, heading out to Ohio. Yeah. There's no place I'd rather go, y'all. No place I'd rather go. Now let me tell you, gonna wake up in jail this morning. Yeah, tonight we're gonna make a scene. Gonna wake up in jail tomorrow morning. Tonight I'm gonna make a scene. They're gonna throw Scott, Roger, and me in Sean and cell number 414. Low bars.
Chicago blues, though, has a little bit more of a laid-back feel to it. I think it allows you to just kind of digest what the music is telling you.
Yeah, you know, and the thing about Chicago is there's West Side blues like Buddy Guy or Magic Sam, and then, you know, you got Muddy Waters type of blues, but also, you know, contemporary blues in Chicago is very modern sounding too. So you have all these places to draw from and sources. So that was exciting too. And basically I found gospel music in Chicago on the radio stations there, which to me was like the missing link. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, people say it all starts with the blues, which is true, but in some ways it all started with gospel music and field hollers and that idea too. So yeah, I was really turned on by all those sounds.
What about as a songwriter? I mean, ultimately you moved to Nashville. Is that where you felt like you started to grow as a songwriter?
Yeah, you know, with the blues, to be able to play blues well is such a challenging thing because it's more about personality and passion and what you put into a 12-bar. So because it's so hard to do, sometimes the song takes the back seat because you know, if you write a hip-hop song, you can be 12 years old and really deliver it. It doesn't matter. It's about the melody and the chord changes. But I figured, well, I really want to know more about songwriting and arranging. And so, yeah, that's exactly why Nashville made sense and to sort of develop in that way. So to combine the blues and the soul of the blues, but, you know, to study people like John Hyatt, who are great songwriters, or, you know, folks like that. And, hey, what are they doing that's different?
Right. You know. You know, we're here, as I mentioned, at the Lexington Blueberry Festival, and actually just a few moments ago, there's a young band out of Columbus, Pet Crow, just got off the stage. So you got an opportunity to hear these 10, 13, and 14-year-old kids, old soul blues, doing it up.
Right.
It's really neat to see that torch being handed to a younger generation following you.
Oh man, yeah, and I think that's what's so cool about the blues is that there's this idea of legacy, okay, and you're doing something to pass it on. It makes you feel so much better. It's not all about you or your band. There's a bigger picture, and the picture is called music or blues, and other styles of blues may or may not have that, or other styles of music may or may not have that, you know. But usually, if it's roots music, yes, there is that idea that, hey, you know, we're at the 30-yard line. We're going to carry it to the 20 and then pass the ball to somebody else.
You know, here's a guy, folks, that many years ago actually graduated the University of Toronto with a degree, and your thesis to get that master's was what?
The racial evolution of blues music. The black and white of blues.
Imagine that.
Yes. So yeah. Well, you know what it was okay. So I'm from Canada, and you know, Caucasian, and you know, sort of like if you're from Canada, it's like you're white twice, right? So it's like, how do I fit into the blues? Do I really belong? You know. And what I came to find out is that the blues started from Mississippi and started under harsh conditions, but it's grown to be a beautiful thing because of that spirit has overcome everything, and now it's in people's music and we can all relate to it, and it's stronger by the minute because of all the colors in it.
Yeah, it's theater of the mind if you close your eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey folks, we've been hanging out with Anthony Gomes. I need to let him go, get his guitars all checked in and stuff like that. Tuned up, yeah, that's I guess the proper way to put it. But actually you brought your protege along, somebody to help you out. That's why we're able to sit here and do this.
Right. We're exploiting child labor laws. Let's
don't get into politics.
Yeah, no, we're not exploiting any laws, actually. We're law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time, every time.
Exactly.
Yes, even when we have a dirty thought, it's within the legal rights of where we're at.
Everybody's eye candy to somebody, aren't they?
Thank God for that.
Hey, real quickly before I let you go, the cats you got playing with you tonight, who's traveling with you?
We have Roger Famali on the bass, on the drums, I'm sorry, Scott Sutherland on the bass, and then we have the whole town here, man. They're part of the band too.
All right, we're going to be here.
Yeah, Lexington, Ohio is part of the band.
Yeah, 44904.
Yeah, that's right. Some of you are late. Come on.
Exactly. Anthony Gomes joining us again on the Mid-Ohio Rock Show. I'm Tommy Barnes. Thanks, guys. We'll catch up with you down the road sometime. Maybe next time we'll be at the Strawberry Fest. Who knows?
Take me home.
Ding! Winning.
This episode of Mid-Ohio Rock Show is brought to you by Larry's Music Center, Ohio's coolest indie music store, with locations in Worcester and Millersburg.